నమస్కారం. డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ సార్వత్రిక విశ్వవిద్యాలయ విద్యార్థులకు స్వాగతం. This topic has been selected from marketing management course, and hence this session is more useful, more relevant for our first year MBA students. Marketing mix is the base for formulating the marketing strategy of any organization. I hope you are aware that marketing mix consists of 4 elements or components which are popularly known as 4 P's of marketing. These 4 P's are price, product, place and promotion. Either to launch a product or to plan for market expansion or development, and also to plan market penetration, a good combination of all these 4 P's is essential. Of all these 4 P's, price again has a very unique place. This is because, however excellent the other 3 P's may be, that is, the quality of the product which the company is offering may be very good, the customer may get that particular product at a place of his or her own choice, and the seller of the product may also use very good excellent promotion techniques. But if the customer is not happy with the price charged by the company or by the seller, then he will not buy that particular product. So in that case, the sales may not be as per the expectations of the seller. So a manager should be very careful while fixing the price of a particular product, and for that matter even service also. There are some other aspects to be considered by the manager before actually fixing the price of a product. Number 1 is, there is direct relationship between the price of a product and the demand. That is, if the price is high, normally the demand may be low, and if the price is less, the demand may be high. So this aspect should be considered by the manager before fixing the price. But there is an established opinion in the public that if the price is high, automatically the quality of the product will be high, and if the price is less, the quality may be poor. So before fixing the price, the manager has to take care of this opinion also. Another most important factor to be considered by the manager before fixing price, particularly in the present day environment, is the increasing competition. Earlier, the customers have very limited choice, but nowadays customers have very good choice. Number of products are available in the market. So if the customer is not happy with the price charged by a particular company for a particular product, then automatically he will switch over to the similar product offered by another company. So the price has to be fixed after taking into consideration all these aspects. That's why price fixation is has become a challenging task before the present day managers. So in this scenario, today we selected a topic on pricing strategies. Professor Ramakrishna Reddy and Mr. Jaganmohan are here to explain us various aspects relating to pricing. So first, Professor Reddy will explain what is the exact meaning of the term pricing. So Professor Reddy, normally we feel that price is the amount which we are paying either to purchase a product or to make use of a service. So is there any other meaning for this term price?
Conceptually, when we talk about price, when you are buying a product or service, it is rendering some sort of benefits to us. When you are accruing certain benefits by using a product or service, and the reward that you are paying for the benefits that you get from a product or service is known as the price. And the concept of price is used in different connotations. For example, when you pay rent to the apartment, it's also considered as a price. Yes. Similarly, when you go to hospital, you pay something to the doctor. It's called doctor fees. When you go to the education institution, you pay fee there.
Yes,
and
that's the price which we are paying.
Exactly, and different names are given, but actually the reward that we pay for using the benefits from a product or service is known as a price. This price is determined basically on the basis of cost of production, on the basis of the competition that is prevalent in the industry, and the environment in which your product is placed and things like that. Usually the price is determined by the consumption. The consumption is again determined by various other factors. The very important component that determines the consumption is affordability. Affordability is nothing but the ability to pay for a product or price. As you rightly pointed out, there may be a good number of products which are high quality products, but the consumers are not willing to pay for it because of lack of ability.
Ability to pay.
Ability to pay. That's also one of the important variables to be considered. Usually we talk about 4 A's, as we have 4 P's in marketing mix. One is the affordability, availability, awareness, and acceptability. These are the 4 A's we talk about as far as the price is concerned.
So 4 A's, availability, affordability,
Yes.
awareness, and acceptability.
Acceptability.
So these 4 A's should be considered. before
Affordability is nothing but the ability to pay. Availability of the product. See, products should be available to the consumer. That's also prime variable that's going to determine whether the product is, useful to this, people or
customer
not.
or not.
Yeah, that's another variable.
Okay.
So apart from this, again, awareness is also important. See, we presume that the market information is available to all the consumers, but in reality, the imperfections in the market are existing. So most of the consumers are not aware, more so in the developing countries like India, where the literacy rate is very, very, not
But
as up to
nowadays,
the
I think the scene is
standards.
gradually changing because
Of
of
course.
the changes that are taking place in advertisement particularly.
Yes.
Awareness among consumers is
It's
increasing.
growing.
Is growing.
It's growing.
Yes.
Despite all this also, see, the people may not be aware of the right products.
Yes.
And in the process, over a period of time, we are able to better this, but still, some people are not aware, particularly in the rural India, many people are not aware of the products that are available.
So another this thing is acceptability. The product should be acceptable to the customer.
Ultimately, the producer may be interested in producing a better product and presume that, he is producing excellent product. But ultimately, the consumer has to perceive the same product as an excellent product, which can cater to his needs.
Yes, his needs and requirements should be satisfied.
There should not be a gap between the producer's view about a product and then the consumer's perception about the product.
So, Mr. Jaganmohan, will you please explain the significance of pricing in a more detailed way?
Yeah, the significance of pricing is more on historical significance is the first thing. All along we've been talking about price and demand theory. In this context, we know about price elasticity and price inelasticity. There are changes because of this price and demand factors will be changing based on the price levels. The lower the price, maybe the higher the demand. Higher the price, maybe the lower the demand. This is one of the basic things. All along the economists have been talking about price and demand theory in this context. The second is the functional significance, which is more on economic nature. Economic reasons is trying to define the target market or fixation of a price. The technical reason is more from the consumer point of view. What is exactly consumer expecting from the price to happen? And one is price is basically a very quantitative figure. So we talk about numbers in terms of rupees and paisas. We talk about it's very quantitative and it's not ambiguous. It's very clear. We know exactly when we go and buy a commodity, it's priced at 4 rupees or 5 rupees or 10 rupees or 50 rupees. That is very clear about it. There are other aspects to pricing, which is again reasons of product quality, product image, and customer satisfaction, and those things are very they're subjective. They're basically subjective, and the similar factors are they're a little bit ambiguous. Yes. It's very difficult for the customer to understand exactly what is the relevant portion of the price going in for those kind of things, like customer service. How do you assess the kind of role which customer service plays on the product or a service? How to price that, and that is very difficult. So this is becoming very important in terms of pricing. The third important thing is the social reason. It symbolizes the quality, the value, then the status, the lifestyle of individuals. The social status also counts a lot. Like Dr. Reddy said, quality conscious will be more looking at higher price product and things like that. This is very important. The significance is manifold now. It's just not a single dimensional thing. It's manifold. We look into all these things when we decide on, and it's more and more becoming important in today's world when the more competition and more number of players in the same category, intercategory are there, is resulting into more significance in pricing in today's business world.
even while responding to my earlier question, you said that the present days organizations are working in a very dynamic environment, and the competition is also increasing. So actually, what are the trends that are taking place in the price fixation of the products nowadays? How, what is the role of a manager in fixing the price in the present days environment?
Hitherto, if you look at the organizations, the price fixation is not that difficult task, because ours is more or less closed economies before. Now, in the light of this globalization, privatization and liberalization, the popular concept of LPG.
Yes, LPG.
Now, the multinationals are coming into our country, and they are also competing in the market. And by looking at the, the bigger markets, they are also coming and then setting up their own shops here. And we need to compete with this existing, competition plus the international competition that's coming up. In the light of this, the price is becoming very, very crucial issue, because the price is determined by cost of production. The price is determined by cost of production and also the competition. Usually, if you go by the cost of production as the basis and fix according to the price, and every company gets profits, because there is no question of getting losses. But most companies don't get profits these days, and many companies are also struggling in the process of business. So it is not just the cost of production that determines the price of a product. There are certain other important issues also to be taken into consideration. Now, if you look at the recent trends, earlier the concept was the haves and have-nots. This is how the classification was done on the basis of the affordability. Now, the disaggregation has come into picture. Within this haves again and haves and have-nots, we can disaggregate. The segregation is possible, and recently the NCAER, Applied Economic Research, National Applied Economic Research, Council for Applied Economic Research, and these people have conducted many surveys and then started categorizing the people with different income levels. And the first level they have considered as a rich income group, and what type of products that they are likely to buy. And according to their affordability, we need to fix a price. And naturally, their expectations about a product and service may be different. So what they look for is the quality. This is a quality conscious group. Therefore, certain products are meant for this particular category
the particular segment.
Basically, segmentation. On the basis of income criteria, when you are segmenting the markets, rich people or who are capable of buying these kind of products, and these are the products that we can categorize and then cater to their needs. And then similarly, see what they have given is 2,15,000 rupees is the annual income as criteria they have taken, and they have branded them as rich people. And then second category again is the consuming class. Consuming class, their income is above 44 lakh rupees and less than 2,15,000. This is a consuming class. And then the next category they have categorized as a climbers. That means they don't have that much of purchasing power. They have roughly about 20 plus
income,
1,000 rupees of income per annum. They have aspirations to buy, but their capacity is less. They will not be able to buy all these products. So this is another category. The fourth category that we can talk about is the destitutes. That means they have aspirations, but they will not be able to buy. So this may not be much of relevant for the marketeers today, but certainly the remaining other categories will be certainly of great importance to them. On the basis of their affordability, they can think this is the product that can cater to the needs of this particular segment. And on the basis of the income, on the basis of the location that they are living in, for example, rural areas and urban areas, they have to price the product. So pricing is becoming very, very dynamic variable in the light of the change that is occurring in the recent times.
Can I put it in another word? Is actually, just even my introduction, I said that marketing mix is a combination of all the 4 P's.
Correct.
So what is the role of the marketing mix nowadays in formulating the marketing strategy of the organizations?
Right. No, price is very dominant variable, no doubt. But in the light of the competition that is coming up from the international markets, the number of products that are competing in the market are on rise day-to-day basis. As a result, what is happening, the price is very essential, no doubt. But in certain product groups, there is a clear differentiation when you talk about the product groups as such. And then the consumers are able to perceive the clear difference. For example, televisions, if you look at, there are varieties of televisions that are available. But within that particular economy group or rich segment group, there are televisions that are available
depending on the features of the product.
Of the product. But within that group, there are very, very few differences in the product. And more so, the consumers are not able to perceive the difference between the products. In such case, when the consumer is not able to perceive the difference, which the producer or the sellers are saying that there is a clear difference, but the consumer is confused with the differentiation.
We should actually experience that particular difference.
Exactly. The product differentiation that we are talking about should be clearly perceivable by the consumer, not the producer or the seller.
Not by the seller or the...
Exactly. When he is able to perceive the difference and he is able to get that feeling that this particular product is distinctly different from the other product. And he is willing to pay a differential price. Little higher price also is willing to pay, provided he is convinced about the quality of the product. But within the product group, it is unlikely that the consumers are able to perceive the difference. As a result, they tend to believe that both the products are similar. So in the product, within the product group, what is happening, there is a possibility of homogeneous products. The consumers are believing that these products are more or less same in terms of quality and in all features. And if at all there is a difference also, the consumer is not able to clearly differentiate the differences. As a result, people tend to believe that these products are of same, and product price is more or less same in the products. And product also, in the light of this, product differentiation also is not perceived, therefore the product importance is also decreased. So the promotion is also a very important variable, the third P that you talk about. And when you talk about the promotion, when the people are not able to perceive the difference and people tend to believe that more or less within the group are the same products, and then the producers are also not willing to advertise by spending a lot of money. So there also the advertising is, and then the promotion activities will come to standstill position.
So thank you, Professor Reddy.
Thank you.
Mr. Jaganmohan, the main important objective of pricing is earning some profit to the organization. So are there any other objectives which should be achieved by the pricing strategy of the organization?
Basically, when you look at organizations, we look at the bottom line. We call it as bottom line. All organizations work for a particular bottom line. That means we're looking for some kind of profit. When we are investing on some kind of business, we like to expect some profit. So the basic motive in any business we take, whether it is small or big or manufacturing or service sector, all of us are looking for some profit, and the term we use normally is the bottom line. So first major objective is profit. We look for profit maximization, and otherwise we call about target profit also. That is the first fundamental thing which all organizations look for. The second thing which all organizations like to think is they like to grow. They like to go. They not like to be static, think that I am performing in terms of 100 units of production, I am trying to sell 100 units of production. So we look for sales growth or market share. If the market has got say 100 units it can consume, so we have 20% in it, 5% in it. We like to be market leaders in terms of market share, what we have in the same group with different competing products with us. That's one. Second thing is that we also look for absolute sale in the growth in terms of numbers, in terms of value also. That is very important for us to look at and do it. The third thing is growth in market share. Market share in terms of 5% we are now, we like to grow into 10%, 15% over a period of time, trying to capture more in the growing market. That's very important. And sometimes where the products or the market is matured enough, then what we look at is status quo maintain. At least we try to maintain the sales volumes and the sales value. So we don't degenerate ourselves in terms of volume and value and trying to create problems in terms of bottom lines, what we're looking at. And sometimes we also look for minimum sales to cover their costs and minimum sales to cover our sales so that we meet the requirements of our running an organization with respect to people management and system management, all those kinds of things. The other important thing is the competition. Competition, we can be market leaders, we can as well meet the market, meet the competition, or sometimes we prevent the competition. We involve in some kind of pricing objectives to see these two kind of things are met. We meet the competition or prevent competition. Another way is to destroy competition, and a lot of these big players are where we have volumes established in terms of capacity, in terms of infrastructure and things like that. They try to kill the smaller players in that market, particularly when we are talking about more liberalization and privatization, and we are trying to globalize the whole issues and try to bring in in terms of economies of scale and things like that. So there what is happening, the lower is producing the same products are trying to, they are not able to give the kind of production norms and things like that and meet the target of proper price. So the lot of big companies are trying to destroy by pricing it lower and seeing that the smaller companies don't come into the marketplace and also not trying to compete with them. So the latest developments in terms of Reliance coming into role to play with other telecom companies. The telecom company, we started at 16 rupees a minute was the price at which we started paying. Now we are talking about 30 paisa, 40 paisa, maybe 1 rupee 20 paisa.
Yes.
So see the difference in price what we have got into telecom sector.
Yes.
And that is the kind of thing which we are trying to build in and trying to seize. The other important aspect of pricing objective is development. We also do pricing to develop a market, particularly with a new product launch in the market scenario, where we need to educate the customer, tell him what is the benefits of it, what are the customers can get out of that kind of a product or service. We try to educate them. In that kind of situation, we develop the market through some pricing objectives, where we start pricing low, and when the when the consumers start accepting it, we try to increase the prices slowly and steadily, so the consumer acceptability is there, and customer satisfaction is there, and they start willing to pay a price. And we try to also do that kind of thing and encourage, a lot of people, stimulate demand in terms of encouraging non-users into users. Like most of the fast food joints, when they came into India, most of them were not willing. With Indian community as such, were very conservative of having that kind of a lifestyle, that kind of a thing. But the newer generation is going in for it. So they put in a lot of bites, lot of structuring, price structuring, discounts, promotions,
yes.
The product variability, all those kinds of they brought in, and saw to that the consumers start accepting slowly. And now they'll probably over a period of time they'll start ruling us in terms of price. They get a better price for it. And these are the major objectives of what we try to do in pricing.
Mr. Jaganmohan, like our human beings, even the price will also may have a life cycle. Its
yes.
birth, its development, all those things.
Yes.
So this pricing in any way, will it has any relationship with the life cycle of a product?
Yes, product life cycle, what we call as PLC, that's very important criteria to think about. The thing is like introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. When you're launching a new product, normally in introduction stage we price it lower, and when we pick up to growth and maturity stage, we start increasing the price. At maturity stage, we stabilize the price. We don't allow that to go up and down. Basically, the costs are known for us. We learn through experience curve and things like that. We match the cost and the price effectively, efficiently on that side. And when the product cycle goes down in terms of decline, because there are more competing products, better products, and better capacities built up in terms of quality parameters and all, probably we look at trying to reduce the price and meeting the targets. By the time we reach a maturity, we get all the kinds of costs which we have involved in setting up a capacity, right, through depreciation process of equipment or trying to recover the cost of equipment. And in the decline state, we can afford doing some kind of low pricing. So we sustain, because we have built up a capacity, we have infrastructure with us, we like to run the show. We have people to manage, take care of them. We run the show and at a lower price and still earn enough profits on that side and trying to run the show. That's possible. So product life cycle also makes a very clear impact on the pricing strategies.
Pricing strategies of the organization. Right. So Professor Reddy, what are the constituents of the pricing policy of any organization?
Actually, the pricing policy is basically a guiding force of an organization. Whether the success of an organization is possible or not is mostly determined by the pricing factor. So pricing policy is very, very essential, and that's the reason we say it's a guiding principle of an organization. And it should go in consonance with the objective of the company. And the price is going to lead the company, and where to lead and all that will be determined already as a part of the company's objectives. So this pricing policy should be in consonance with the company's objectives. Now, when you look at the pricing process, how this price determination and all that takes place, we must understand the environment in which you are placing. The environment consists of internal environment and external environment. When you talk about internal environment, how the company is doing in that particular market, and then what are the constituents of the costs. The cost is one important variable. The competition, when you look at the costs, it is not just the total cost that we need to take into consideration. Because we have already pumped in a lot of money into the company, the fixed costs were already, there in the company. So only you need to take into consideration the incremental costs. by accepting a decision, what are the additional costs that we need to incur in order to produce a given. The decision regard to the price is concerned, the incremental costs. So the fixed costs, the incremental costs, the marginal costs, and various other issues also should be taken into consideration. And the cost is the major force that determines the price of the product. Plus you add up your profit and all that.
And all those things.
Now that's internal environment is one important, and external environment. External environment is determined by the external factors, the government policy again.
Yes.
The socio-economic and the political factors
Technical
also
factors,
influence.
all those
Technical, of course.
Yes.
These are the factors that determine the external
Environment.
So internal environment, external environment. And then demand is another important variable. Demand is always referred at a given price. If this is the price, this is the quantity that we are likely to sell. If we reduce the price, the quantity demanded will be certainly higher.
High.
So at different levels of prices, what could be the differential demands? And then if you have a clear idea about different levels of prices, what could be the likely demand for a product? I think that would be, one important issue that
Should be addressed while fixing the price.
Exactly. So apart from this, not merely cost of production, as I told you before, competition also should be taken into consideration. If competition is taken into consideration, in the competition, what happens is the important issue is the costs are different for different companies.
So thanks a lot, Professor Reddy and Mr. Jaganmohan. Thank you.
మా కార్యక్రమాలపై మీ సూచనలు సలహాలు తెలియచేయండి. మీ సూచనలు సలహాలు తెలియచేయవలసిన చిరునామా డైరెక్టర్ ఆడియో విజువల్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అండ్ రీసెర్చ్ సెంటర్ డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ ఓపెన్ యూనివర్సిటీ ప్రొఫెసర్ జి రామరెడ్డి మార్గ్ రోడ్ నంబర్ 46 జూబ్లీ హిల్స్ హైదరాబాద్ 500003